Part 61. The emperor's decree came out against the ancestral system, then the entire country was shaken. As soon as the decree came out, there was an uproar in the court. And everyone knew the emperor's love for the 14th prince. When the 14th prince asked to be sealed, the attitude of the emperor was evident. From the beginning, he sealed the land of Jingji to him. After being rejected, he sealed Liangcheng according to his words. Later, it was obvious that 300 people should be escorted with him. And 500 people were mentioned abruptly. This is not to mention, the 14th prince's luggage is much richer than the prince's in the past. And there are many good things in the emperor's private treasury. At that time, the people in the capital talked about it for a while. Who said that the emperor loved the eldest son? And the people loved the youngest? Today's emperor is different, and it hurts to the bottom of his younger son. Your Majesty absolutely must. This move is really against the ancestral system. How can the emperor guard the elite guard a prince? The Minister of Rights was the first to jump out to stop it. If there is anything that violates the etiquette and law, he should stand up and correct it. The emperor gave him a cool look. Everyone knows what the situation is in the border area. Now that Prince Duan is in danger, tell me, who is going to save him? Shu Aiqing, why don't you go? Shu Shongshu's expression changed. Who does not know the emperor's temperament in court? The things that have been decided to have always been vigorous and resolute. Although he has been restrained in recent years, his nature is difficult to change. The fact that most of the courtiers fell down is still vivid in my mind. Who dares to scratch the tiger's whiskers? The minister. I think that when Prince Duan is in danger, the border guards are not without responsibility. Shu Shongshu said a word, withdrew his feet, and silently retreated into the courtiers. If His Majesty Emperor, on a whim, really ordered him to go to the borderlands, he would make every day not work, and the land would not work. Why should he sacrifice his career for a foolish prince? Some people are watching the play. Isn't this nonsense? Now the primary purpose is to save Prince Duan. Is it an opportunity to hold him accountable? Shu Shongshu is currently standing in line with the third prince. Naturally, he does not want Prince Duan, who is in the prince's lineage, to be good. At this time, he does not know who will be used as a spearman. The people in the court have been in the officialdom for decades, which is not an old fox who has become an elite. All of them are cunning. Now that the emperor has made up his mind, his will has been made, and there is no room for change, and if he tries to block it again, in the eyes of the emperor, I am afraid that there will be no good words. The emperor ordered to dispatch the Imperial Guard to rescue Prince Duan. This is the emperor's escort. Who is the escort and not the escort? A prince who is far away from the frontier, has no threat to the throne, and has nothing to do with everyone's interests, so you don't need to care too much. As for what kind of ancestral system? Dayan Country's ancestral system has not changed. In order to stabilize the peace of the borderland, the emperors of the past dynasties used princesses and relatives to become an unbreakable rule for a long time. Wouldn't the current emperor abolish this rule as soon as he came to power? Needless to say, as for other little things, no one in the ancestral system dared to go abroad for business. All right now. Prince Duan personally requested an edict to take the lead in creating a caravan, just to go out to the Dayan country and do business with other countries in the western regions. At the beginning, it was not that no one had impeached him. It was said that a prince competed with the people for profit, and he also traded with western barbarians. But the result? The emperor made up his mind to protect the young son. If you have an opinion, okay, you can mention it. After you mention it, you will be relegated to a foreign country as an official. Its meaning is very clear. I don't want to listen to your nonsense here. Belittle it far away, out of sight and out of mind. After killing chickens and warning monkeys like this, the voices of opposition have become much smaller. Although there are dissatisfied remarks, either hold back or go home and complain. After that time, the court and the opposition also understood that this Prince Duan was not someone they could move. Ever since Prince Duan infected Liangzhou, there have been some people who are fortunate enough to send them far away, and there have been many disasters in the borderlands. In the past few years, whether Prince Duan's little life can be saved is not certain. However, this Prince Duan was really given a lot of attention by them. The items from the western regions that were transported into the capital by the caravan last time were extremely rare and became very popular. His Royal Highness, who handled it, made a lot of money. Who wouldn't be envious of him? Now ask the powerful families in the capital, which family does not have one or two things from the western regions? It's good to say that you have a face. And show it when you are entertaining guests. Who wouldn't be envious? This is a status symbol, and ordinary people can't buy it even with a lot of money. Most of them also don't want Prince Duan to have an accident. If he does have an accident, where can they get those precious commodities again in the future? There are wealthy family members, and they are also calculating in their hearts whether or not they should send their nephews to follow the trend, and maybe they will be able to achieve something. However, you have to plan well and get on the boat of the prince. Therefore, everyone held their own careful thoughts and no longer blatantly refuted His Majesty's decision. And this matter that violated the system was settled so easily. When the news of the previous dynasty spread to concubine Hui's palace, concubine Wei was so angry that she smashed a set of blue and white porcelain on the spot. As soon as the news of Ming Yu came out, concubine Wei was overjoyed, so she said, "How could the barbarians be easy to get along with? It's a pity that they didn't kill this little bastard on the spot, but let him escape instead. But if you fall into the territory of Shishi country, it will be a matter of time before you are caught, right?" This is the best and happiest news she has received in recent months. This little brat helped the crown prince to get some strange things from the western regions come back, which attracted everyone to fight. Let the crown prince get a lot of fame and wealth. And even His Majesty Emperor praised the crown prince for doing a good job. Even she wanted her son Ming Dao to be involved, but was refuted by His Majesty Emperor. This almost made her face disgrace. Even that bitch, concubine Zhen, came to laugh at her on purpose, so why not make her angry and hateful? They are all the sons of the emperor, why is there so much difference? The emperor is too partial, her son is the most outstanding among the princes, and his talents and abilities are the best. Instead, they are inferior everywhere? She lost to the queen back then. But now her son can no longer be compared to the crown prince. Therefore, she regarded the crown prince and Ming Yu as thorns in her eyes. Ming Yu went to the borderland, and she wished that Ming Yu was killed by the Yi people. She was happy when she heard about Ming Yu's accident, but she heard that the emperor sent his personal bodyguard to the border to rescue and protect Ming Yu. This was a treatment that a prince had never received before. How could she not be angry or hate? Some people are happy, and some are worried. The palace has never been a peaceful place, but if there is a little trouble, it can spread far and wide. Concubine Wei only smashed a set of blue and white porcelain at noon, and concubine Zhen came over after the afternoon, watching concubine Hui's jokes openly and secretly. I heard that Sister Wei accidentally broke a set of blue and white porcelain that you loved. Oh, what a pity. If it were my sister, I would feel distressed to death. Concubine Zhen tucked her orchid fingers and covered her mouth with a handkerchief and smiled. The two of them have never been at odds. Concubine Hui's thoughts. Concubine Zhen is somewhat aware, but she is optimistic about concubine Hui's thorns in her eyes, and she also helps to say good things in secret, with only one purpose: to be right with concubine Wei. As long as you can make concubine Wei angry and unhappy, she will be happy. Concubine Wei was upset. No matter what, she was an old man in the palace. So how could she allow concubine Zhen to show off her power in front of her? Immediately snorted and said with a sneer, "You don't need to be a pity for my sister. There are many blue and white porcelain elder sisters in the palace. The elder sister doesn't feel distressed, and you can't be bothered. People will look like a fuss." Concubine Zhen helped her hair on her temples, pretending that she didn't understand what she meant, and said with a giggle, "Sister said that no matter how much blue and white porcelain is, it's not worth being a few, and the small gift that the crown prince sent to the palace last time is rare. My sister doesn't know, that thing called a mirror is a fragile thing. My sister is clumsy and accidentally smashed into pieces. I have been sad for a long time, but His Majesty still couldn't bear to see it, so he gave me another one. It's a complete one." She looked at concubine Hui's livid face, and she was indescribably proud of herself. She was able to watch the invincible concubine Wei shriveled, and she felt a sense of accomplishment. I heard that concubine Wei wanted a mirror at that time, and she also begged to His Majesty, but His Majesty did not agree. She just deliberately poked the words into concubine Hui's heart. "Oh, look at me. I forgot that my sister was not given a mirror at the beginning, but the third prince has always been filial, and I think it was prepared for my sister. If my sister misses in the future, don't break it, otherwise it will be really good again. It's hard to get it." After speaking, ignoring concubine Hui's angry face that was about to deform, she twisted her waist and left. Snort. "Just wait, when this concubine's son gains power, this concubine wants you all to live rather than die." Looking at the secret letter in his hand, General Wei's expression finally relaxed a lot. This is the whereabouts information of the prince and the others sent from Suishi country, and it was Xie Yisho who asked Handa to send it over. Now they have escaped the enemy's pursuit and are heading north, preparing to turn back to Dayan Country from Ziki Mountain. General Wei hurriedly walked to the hanging map, carefully identifying the location on the map, and used it to cut off the approximate location of the two. At this moment, there was another noise outside the tent, and General Wei frowned. Needless to say, he knew that it was Commander Mo who came to the door again. They were sent out by Ming Yu to hunt down the invading barbarians to exercise their fighting ability. Everyone knows that this is a rare opportunity to train troops, and they also want to do their best and give the prince an explanation. How could they know that after they left, the prince was kidnapped? This is obviously the enemy's plan to move the tiger away from the mountain. When they heard the news, how could they dare to consume the barbarians slowly? And immediately arranged a battle plan to defeat the barbarians in one fell swoop. It's a pity that Ming Yu originally explained that they must completely wipe out this group of enemies. However, because of the hurry of time, they wiped out most of the barbarians, but escaped by a few exploits. There is no way, now that the prince is important. They immediately packed up their luggage after completing the task, went directly to Shichong Gate in the border area, and found General Wei. When a personal soldier came in to report, General Wei had a headache, so he let Mo Zhang in. Mo Zhang was in a hurry, holding a breath in his heart. When he saw General Wei, he said directly, "General, I just come down here to tell the general that our guard camp has been assembled, and we will immediately leave the customs and go to rescue His Highness." After they came here, they wanted to go to Suishi country immediately, but General Wei stopped them and asked them to wait and obey the arrangement. At first, he thought that General Wei would immediately give them a task. But he didn't expect that this would be a 2-day effort, so he went to General Wei several times. General Wei always had an excuse to delay again and again. But he really didn't know what medicine he was selling in the gourd. Mo Zhang couldn't wait any longer. He was getting more and more anxious every day. The prince was now in danger. And there was only General Xie beside him. How could he not be anxious? He had to pick up the prince, and waiting for a moment would be more dangerous. They can't wait to die like this any longer. As the prince's personal guards, all they care about is the prince's own safety. Unlike General Wei, who has to consider all aspects of the problem, General Wei can delay, but they can't wait. So today, he has assembled the troops of the guards camp, and intends to notify General Wei and go out. Wait, seeing that Mo Zhang was about to turn around and leave, General Wei stopped him. Mo Yang's eyes were red, and he turned his head and stared at General Wei like a wolf. General, our guards battalion is not affiliated with General Wei's frontier garrison. He understood what they were going to do, so General Wei could not control their heads. If they can come here to inform. They have already done their guest host ceremonies. General Wei shook his head. These Garda were brought out by the prince, and it was naturally inferior to others. And he really couldn't order or stop them. Then where are you going to rescue the prince now? General Wei asked rhetorically. This question made Mo Zhang stumped. It was too late for them to get the news and rush over. Now, they really don't know where the prince is. He thought about it. They could only sneak into the Shishi country. And then slowly find a way to inquire about the news. Okay, I have the news that I just sent to Prince Duan. Why don't we discuss together and see where we can meet and how to respond to the prince? General Wei said. When Mo Zhang heard this, he was overjoyed. General Wei had the exact news of the prince. That would be good. It was great that the prince was safe and sound. As soon as something happened to the prince, this general has already reported it to His Majesty Emperor. There is also news that His Majesty sent 1,000 elite guards to rescue and protect the prince. I'm afraid they are already on the way now. When Mo Zhang heard the news, he was almost speechless. Did he hear it wrong? The emperor sent the Imperial Guards? Who these people are? As the leader of the 100-strong Praetorian Guard, it is impossible for him not to know. They are the personal guards of the emperors of the late dynasties. But they are not comparable to the general guards like them. I had never heard of sending Imperial Guards to protect the prince before. This was the first time in history. With them going out, there is no need to worry about the safety of the prince in the future. Judging from the secret reports sent by the prince, they are safe and sound for the time being. They will go all the way north to the foot of Ziki Mountain, and then return to Dayan Country in the south. I think we can send an army to Ziki Mountain. We shouldn't miss it. General Wei pointed to the map and drew a line according to the secret report, which is probably the route that Ming Yu and the others planned. Mo Zhang followed General Wei's fingers and nodded. Since the prince told them the specific route of travel, it was the most direct and effective way to meet them on the way. General Wei continued. The 1,000 Imperial Guards are about to arrive. In order to save time, it is better to lead the troops to meet up with them, and then go to Ziki Mountain together to meet them. While we are stationed in the army, I will send people to the south to make a statement. Let the enemy think that the prince and the others are in the south, so disturbing the line of sight. Making noises and attacking the west, try to give the prince a safe environment for them to escape. There are no loopholes in the general plan, and General Wei has thought very well. Mo Zhang was naturally willing to take orders, and immediately bowed his hands in a salute. Here, the guards' army will set off.